Caffeine, Perk or Pitfall? Understanding your daily dose. Is caffeine a delightful boost or a dangerous trap? Let's dive into this intriguing topic. In Orlando, Florida, a recent report from Ivanhoe Newswire reveals that it's highly likely you've consumed caffeine today. In fact, experts estimate that approximately 90% of individuals in the United States indulge in caffeine daily. When taken in moderation, caffeine acts as a stimulant, and studies have shown that drinking caffeinated coffee can enhance mood and reduce the likelihood of depression. Consuming 3 to 4 cups of coffee each day is associated with a decreased risk of stroke and may even offer protection against certain cancers affecting the mouth, throat, and digestive tract. However, it's crucial to recognize that there is a threshold for how much caffeine your body can handle at one time. Exceeding this safe limit can lead to adverse effects that may harm your health. Caffeine can provide a mood lift, but it also comes with potential health benefits and risks. So, do you consider yourself a caffeine expert? According to the FDA, most adults can safely consume up to 400 milligrams of caffeine each day, which equates to about 2 to 3 12-ounce cups of coffee. However, it's easy to overindulge. Excessive caffeine intake can interfere with calcium absorption, potentially resulting in osteoporosis, and may cause symptoms such as increased heart rates, headaches, anxiety, sleep disturbances, respiratory issues, sudden spikes in blood pressure, confusion, seizures, and even vomiting. Interestingly, not all caffeinated beverages are created equal. Let's test your knowledge. Which contains more caffeine, an 8-ounce cup of brewed coffee or an 8-ounce shot of espresso? Surprisingly, a standard cup of brewed coffee contains more caffeine than espresso, while instant coffee has even less caffeine than both. Now, let's compare teas. Which has a higher caffeine content, black tea or green tea? Black tea boasts nearly double the caffeine of green tea. And what about energy drinks? They must be loaded with caffeine, right? Actually, a typical can of energy drink contains around 79 milligrams of caffeine, which is less than a cup of coffee. However, an energy shot can deliver a staggering 200 milligrams. So, with this newfound knowledge, is your caffeine consumption a beneficial habit or a potential hazard? It's important to note that many medications can interact with caffeine. For example, combining caffeine with ephedrine, commonly found in decongestants, may elevate your risk of serious health issues such as high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes, or seizures. Theophylline, a drug used to open airways, shares similar effects with caffeine, and taking them together could amplify side effects like nausea and heart palpitations. Even the herbal supplement echinacea, often used to combat colds, might raise caffeine levels in your bloodstream, leading to increased heart rates and anxiety. This report was contributed by Masha Lewis, producer, and Bob Walco, editor. If you want to stay updated with the latest local news and weather, consider subscribing to the TV5 newsletter. You'll receive daily updates straight to your email. Copyright 2025 WNEM. All rights reserved. 5 foods that ruin your coffee. Don't pair these with your brew. Warning, your daily coffee habit might be secretly sabotaged by the foods you're pairing it with. But here's the shocking truth. Some food combinations can wreak havoc on your digestion, block essential nutrients, and even ruin the flavor of your beloved coffee. As it turns out, coffee is a bit of a diva and has very specific preferences when it comes to its culinary companions. So, before you take another sip, let's dive into the top 5 foods that you should never pair with your coffee. First off, let's talk about spicy chips or snacks. While they might seem like a harmless pairing, the combination of spice and caffeine can be a recipe for disaster. Both are stimulants that can send your heart racing and your stomach into overdrive. The spicy oil and bitter coffee flavors clash in a way that's more likely to leave you feeling uncomfortable than satisfied. And if you're prone to reflux, this combo can trigger a roller coaster of symptoms. So, what's the solution? Reach for milk instead, which can help calm the fire by breaking down capsaicin, the compound that makes chilies burn. But here's where it gets controversial. What about yogurt and dairy-rich treats? While they might seem like a cool contrast to your hot coffee, dairy can actually coat your tongue and mute the nuanced flavors of your brew. Worse still, some dairy and coffee pairings can create a curdled aftertaste that's hard to shake. So, play it smart and pair your coffee with toast or fruit instead, saving your yogurt for a solo moment later in the morning. And this is the part most people miss. Red meats can be a major flavor overload when paired with coffee. The dense, umami-heavy taste of red meat can drown out the subtle notes in your coffee, while the bitterness of the brew can leave the meat tasting oddly metallic. Not to mention, both can be hard on digestion, especially first thing in the morning. So, unless you're training for a flavor endurance challenge, it's best to give your coffee a lighter co-star. Now, let's talk about citrus fruits. We salute your daring, but let's be real, eating orange slices with your coffee is a bad idea. Both are highly acidic, which can upset your stomach and completely overwhelm your taste buds. The end result is bitter coffee, sour taste, and no satisfaction. It's a flavor combination that's more likely to leave you feeling disappointed than delighted. Finally, there's the surprising culprit, leafy greens. Spinach and kale might be iron-packed nutritional powerhouses, but they have a quiet enemy in your coffee cup. Coffee contains polyphenol, which can significantly inhibit the absorption of non-heme iron, the kind found in plant-based foods. According to research, drinking coffee with a meal can slash iron absorption by up to 39%. So, if you're at risk for iron deficiency, it's best to space your coffee at least 1 hour before or 2 hours after your iron-rich meals. So, there you have it, the top 5 foods that can ruin your coffee. But here's the question, do you agree with these pairings, or do you have a favorite coffee combination that defies the rules? Let us know in the comments. And if you're feeling adventurous, try experimenting with new pairings to find the perfect match for your morning brew. After all, the world of coffee is full of surprises, and it's up to you to uncover them. Common medications you shouldn't take with coffee. Imagine starting your day with a steaming cup of coffee, a ritual cherished by millions around the globe. But did you know that this beloved beverage can actually interfere with the effectiveness of certain medications? It's true. The caffeine found in coffee can alter how well your medicines work and may even lead to unwanted side effects. While tea also contains caffeine, it typically has lower levels, which can result in different interactions. Let's dive into the crucial information you need to know about how coffee affects common medications and how to use them safely. 1. Cold and flu medications. Caffeine is a stimulant, and so is pseudoephedrine, a widely used decongestant found in many cold medications like Sudafed. When these two are taken together, they can intensify side effects such as jitters, headaches, rapid heart rate, insomnia, and feelings of restlessness. Interestingly, some cold medicines already include caffeine, which can further heighten these risks. Research indicates that combining caffeine with pseudoephedrine can lead to increased blood sugar levels and elevated body temperature, which is particularly concerning for individuals with diabetes. Similar issues arise with ADHD medications like amphetamines and asthma treatments such as theophylline, as they share chemical properties with caffeine. 2. Thyroid medication. Levothyroxine, a medication prescribed for an underactive thyroid, is particularly sensitive to timing. Consuming coffee too soon after taking this medication can reduce its absorption by as much as 50%. This happens because caffeine accelerates digestion, leaving less time for the drug to be absorbed, and it may even bind to the medication in the stomach. Consequently, this can result in insufficient medication entering the bloodstream, potentially causing a return of hypothyroid symptoms like fatigue and weight gain. The same caution applies to osteoporosis medications such as alendronate and risedronate, which should also be taken on an empty stomach, with a waiting period of 30 to 60 minutes before consuming any food or drink. 3. Antidepressants and antipsychotics. The interaction between caffeine and mental health medications can be quite intricate. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, like sertraline and citalopram may experience reduced absorption due to caffeine binding in the stomach. Older antidepressants, known as tricyclic antidepressants, TCAs, such as amitriptyline, are metabolized by the same liver enzyme that processes caffeine, CYP1A2. This can slow down the metabolism of the drug, leading to increased side effects or prolonging the effects of caffeine, which may result in feelings of jitteriness. Moreover, Clozapine, an antipsychotic that is also metabolized by CYP1A2, can have its blood levels nearly doubled by consuming just 2 to 3 cups of coffee, raising the risk of drowsiness, confusion, or even serious complications. 4. Painkillers. Some over-the-counter pain relievers include caffeine to enhance absorption and effectiveness. Coffee can increase stomach acidity and speed up gastric emptying, which helps medications like aspirin to be absorbed more quickly. While this might provide faster relief from pain, it can also heighten side effects such as stomach irritation or bleeding, especially when combined with other sources of caffeine. Although severe cases are rare, it's wise to exercise caution. 5. Heart medications. Caffeine can cause a temporary spike in blood pressure and heart rate for several hours after consumption. For individuals taking blood pressure medications or drugs for irregular heart rhythms, caffeine may diminish their effectiveness. This doesn't imply that heart patients need to completely eliminate coffee from their lives, but they should keep an eye on their symptoms and consider reducing their caffeine intake or opting for decaffeinated options if necessary. How to stay safe. Coffee is more than just a comforting beverage, it's a potent chemical that can significantly influence how your medications function. To ensure your safety. Take levothyroxine or bisphosphonates with water on an empty stomach, and wait 30 to 60 minutes before having coffee or eating. Be cautious when using cold remedies, asthma medications, or ADHD treatments alongside caffeine, as side effects may be amplified. Discuss your caffeine consumption with your doctor if you are on antidepressants, antipsychotics, or heart medications. If you experience jitters, insomnia, or palpitations, consider reducing your caffeine intake or switching to decaf. Remember that everyone metabolizes caffeine differently, so pay attention to how you feel and consult your healthcare provider if you notice any issues. When in doubt, don't hesitate to ask your pharmacist or doctor whether your medication and coffee can coexist safely. A simple conversation can help you avoid unwanted side effects and allow you to enjoy your coffee without worry.